There are strong indications that President Muhammadu Buhari is in a dilemma over whether to assent to the just re-amended 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022, 11 days after receiving the bill from the National Assembly. The presidency disclosed yesterday that President Buhari is in the last-minute consultation with critical stakeholders as he races against time to take a decision on the bill. The House of Representatives also said yesterday that there was no selfish interest in the passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law by the National Assembly. Speaking in Abuja at a one-day policy dialogue organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, in collaboration with Westminster Foundation for Democracy, WFD, Senior Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Senator Babajide Omoworare, said he has it on good authority that Buhari is vigorously meeting with the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami San, and other key stakeholders on the electoral bill. According to Omoworare, the consultation with Malami and other stakeholders is among others to design a way forward on the bill. The presidential aide, however, noted that Buhari is inclined to signing the reworked document this time around, especially as all the grey areas he raised in the rejected Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 has been attended to by the National Assembly. Omowoware's assurance that Buhari would sign the document before the expiration of 30 days allowed by law was, however, not enough to douse anxieties among various discussants at the policy dialogue. He said, a very crucial consultation is going on between Mr. President, the Attorney General, and other critical stakeholders on content of the bill for the required assent. If not for this program, I suppose to be at the very important meeting, I believe to be the major determinant for the fate of the bill. Omoworare assured Nigerians that the bill will most likely be assented to by the president since issues earlier raised by him in the 2021 edition were elaborately addressed by both chambers of the National Assembly last month. He said, personally, I think in a few days' time, Mr. President will do the needful since the most contentious aspect of the bill had been addressed in the reworked one transmitted to him on Monday, January 31st, 2022. Time as it is of essence, but I believe that Mr. President will do the needful. The assurance given by Omoworare was not enough to douse apprehension entertained by conveners of the dialogue who received message from the Attorney General that his planned consultation with President Buhari prevented him from coming. Giving credence to Omoworare's statement that Buhari is in high consultation, the organizers said the Attorney General had graciously asked to be excused from the public conversation as he was still consulting with the President on the matter. Almost all the discussants at the policy dialogue, from the former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jega, country representative of Westminster Foundation for Democracy, Adebowale Olorunmola, and chairman House of Representatives Committee on Media, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, appealed to President Buhari to assent the bill without further delay. Former chairman Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, Professor Atahiru Jega, was not particularly impressed at the seeming delay on the part of the president to sign the electoral bill 11 days after receiving the document from the National Assembly. Even more displeasing to the former Inec boss is what he described as a growing lack of sense of urgency by both the executive and the legislature to complete work on the electoral bill. According to him, Nigeria cannot continue to dilly-dally much further on the electoral bill and go into fresh elections in 2023 with the same old laws, adding that no law of legislation is perfect, but what is available now is good and manageable for the coming elections. On his part, the INEC chairman, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, said that the snail pace of work on the electoral bill was beginning to have a toll on INEC's preparation for the general elections next February. The INEC chairman, who was represented by his chief technical advisor, Professor Bolade Enyila, said With the new electoral law still being awaited, the Commission has not been able to come up with clear-cut guidelines for the conduct of the elections. He said that Inec and not the executive or the National Assembly should initiate proposed amendments to the electoral laws as being practiced in neighboring Ghana. Professor Bolade Enyila said that to avoid the problem of working on electoral laws at the tail end of conducting elections, Inec should be allowed to drive the process as being done in Ghana. He lamented, "The situation at hand now is that roughly a year to general election, the anticipated law are not yet approved, meaning that the Assent one will be used aside the fact that the process has not enabled Inec to come up with clear-cut guidelines for conduct of the elections." Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has said there was no selfish interest in the passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law by the National Assembly. Rather, it said its activities and actions had always been guided by public interest and the need to deepen the tenets of democracy. The House spoke through its spokesman, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, during a press briefing after yesterday's plenary. It will be recalled that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Abubakar Malami San, in a recent interview with a national television station, hinted of sifting the bill against selfish interests. But the House spokesman said the scope of the operation of the procedures are well documented in the Constitution as well as the House rules, and there is nowhere in the Constitution and the House rules where selfish interest is allowed as an instrument to be used in the process of lawmaking. Rather, in place of selfish interests is public interest, and that's why, to advance that particular aspect, the Constitution and House rules made provision for public hearing, for stakeholders' engagement, for memorandum to be sent in, for presentations to be made for town halls. It's been back and forth for the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. We know very well that APC, they have a stronghold in the National Assembly. As a matter of fact, at some point, the National Assembly has been referred to as Buhari Senate. Senate President Ahmed Lawan is a loyalist of the All Progressive Congress, and sometimes when you watch their decisions and the side they take or the side they tilt to, it's not the side of the people. They tend to tilt to the side of President Muhammad Buhari, which leaves people with that argument that is Buhari's Senate. Well, the reps, they are stating that they don't have any selfish interest in the passage of the electoral bill. We'll see how all of this plays out. Leave us your take. Thanks, guys, and for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.